Okay, so you mentioned earlier in the show just like how different it is scoring a goal at home because of the crowd noise and stuff. They tried their best to do that inside of the bubble and the restart. What was it like though? Like life inside the bubble, playing hockey, but obviously like off the ice as well.
Uh, Off the ice it's just felt like you were kind of on a road trip.
Yeah.
Usually when you're playing every other day and you don't really want to do too much on your off days or on your off time. Maybe when we first got there, it was nice. They had some things set up for us, some tennis courts. There was a golf simulator. Like there was a basketball hoop, some squash courts, ping pong stuff. There was definitely things to do. But I think as time went on, you just guys were doing it less because you're in game mode and you're kind of exhausted from games, so you don't want to do too much. As far as playing goes, playing with no fans was a bit weird. I think it wasn't as weird as it could have been just because we hadn't played for however many months, so it wasn't like we just went from playing with a bunch of fans to playing with no fans. It felt kind of like an outdoor game. They had the whole kind of lower bowl covered, and it felt like it was almost like that was what would be a field on a football field, and then the fans were on the outside because you can't really see the fans as much during an outdoor game. You aren't quite paying attention to it. But the silence during a lot of plays was different, and just being able to hear everybody saying everything, and every time a body hit the boards, puck hit anything, it was definitely a little bit different.
Yeah, I think from an outside perspective, we felt like the NHL did like as good of a job as they possibly could have with this setup. Did you guys as players feel that way?
Yeah, they did a really good job. I think kind of making the arena a little bit more kind of like a stage with the screens and everything behind it. I think
Yeah.
was definitely really cool as far as the fans go. Just watching games from home now, it definitely helps.
Yeah, we noticed that like they even played everybody's like goals, like the goal songs and the win songs, and they had everything prepared. But backtracking to like the regular season, what was it like to just have the season like halted? Because you guys were like getting ready for playoffs at that moment, and then all of a sudden just comes to a stop.
It was definitely weird. We played in Jersey, and then we were flying to Columbus, and you kind of got word that things might start to shut down or things weren't happening. I think after the Jersey game, we weren't allowed to talk to media, and then we got to Columbus, and that following day, I want to say we practiced, but it was also a bunch of uncertainty, and we didn't really know. So we kind of went through that day normally, and then the following morning, they told us, all right, yeah, everything's done. And then we kind of just hung around in Columbus for a couple hours, and then got back on the plane and I came back to Pittsburgh, and it was definitely weird because we were in the midst of a road trip, and we're trying to get some points down the stretch and get as good a playoff position as we could, and then all of a sudden it was done, and nobody knew how long it would last.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you do during quarantine to like I guess kill the time?
Well, my brother-in-law was there, and then my wife, and then Zach Aston Reese was also living with us. So we definitely got pretty competitive into some board games. That consumed a lot of our time, and then we actually bought a bunch of street hockey stuff, and we would go out in the street and play a bunch of street hockey like we were 10 years old again. Car comes, we yell car, move the net out of the way, and then move it back, and we spent a lot of hours doing that.
I imagine it'd be funny if the car driving by, instead of kids being on the street, it's like, oh wait, they're in the NHL. it's a little different than one.
We had a couple people in the neighborhood come by. One lady in particular was like, "You guys should sell tickets for this." I'm sure a lot of people are looking for something to do, and they'd probably come watch this for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Live stream it. I mean, funny. Something.
Seriously.
Doesn't Yeah. Okay.
Is there a favorite prank you've had on Potash?
Not on Potash. I had one really good prank done on me my rookie year that I'm definitely not going to forget.
Oh, okay.
Who was the prankster?
Still to this day, it's unknown. I would assume it was Flower. Not totally sure, but I got to the rink.
That sounds like a good guess based on other stuff that we've heard. So
yeah, got got undressed or whatever, changed into my stuff I wear into my gear, and I go out there for practice, and somebody's clothes are hanging from the rafters about 20 feet over the ice, and I look up, I'm like, oh,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard about this.
that stuff looks familiar. So it was my jacket, my shoes, my pants, everything was hung on a hanger with like a little nameplate on the back that said Rust, and I was like, oh, all right, well, I guess this is just what happens to rookies. But no, it was fun.